Hi, welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to be working with lens flares, which are located on the Clouds version 1 DVD. As you'll see, it's a pretty good shot here. We're just going to add a little bit more spectrums and some lens flares off of this actual sunset to give it a little bit more of a cool look to it. As you'll see off to your right, I've already added two different layers of clouds, and one are the actual highlights of the clouds. So we can see layer 1 are one of the brushes that we have in our set, and the layer 2 is actually the spectrum to give us that orange tint just like the original clouds. What we're really going to focus on is the sun, and what you'll see here, we're going to open in Bridge, is we have a bunch of different lens flares, 24 in total in our Layerpros DVD. We'll go ahead and open up our lens flares, and in here you'll see them all listed on the bottom, and they're labeled from daylight or day sun to sunset. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of the sunset ones, and that looks pretty good. We'll double click this. It's going to bring it back up into Photoshop for us already. I'm going to go ahead and take the layer and drag it on top of the new one. I'm going to hold Apple T or Control T on your PC, and I'm going to hold the Shift key to scale it down, and maybe just rotate it a little bit, and maybe a little bit smaller. We're going to hit Enter. Now, just like in Photoshop with their traditional lens flares, we're going to have to change the blending mode, and you'll find the blend modes over here on the Layer tab. It says Normal right now. We're going to set that to the Screen mode, and what that does is that actually allows the black to become transparent. And you can see here now, if we actually free transform that and maybe rotate that, we just get a little bit better of a lens flare than we had off the original. And that's how we add lens flares in Photoshop using Clouds version 1. Now we could take it a step further and use a third-party plugin here. These guys are really cool guys. I've seen them at trade shows and worked with them. They make Color Effects Pro. This is by Nik Software. They also have Color Effects Pro 4 out now, which I definitely recommend. We'll go ahead and use one of their filters here, a dark and light and center filter, and that's going to bring up its own interface. And as you'll see here, it's got a slide bar in the center. It's going to show you original and the filter applied to it. The cool thing about this is you actually have control over where the brightness and the center comes from. You have the shape, which we're going to use a round shape, and we have a place center button here, which is going to allow us to make the sun the focal point. So we're going to hit the place center. We're going to drag the little icon over, and we're going to drop it right on the center of the sun there. Now we can also change the center luminosity, the border luminosity, and also the center size. And as you drag these down, you can see how they affect the image. We want to make the center brighter, and there we go. We can add a little bit more center size, just a little bit more to that. And when we're done, we can preview that again by sliding the little bar over just to give it a nice look. And it's a quick way to give you a nice dark and light and center look to an image. And if we move this out of the way, you can see, we'll turn these layers off. Here's your original, nice shot. There's our Layerpros, clouds, and lens flares.